Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. After a little over 3 years at Northeast Ohio Medical University, I've never been able to have a full year in place and do an in-person State of the University before. The pandemic had made that a very difficult challenge. I want to thank you for joining me today. I do want to say that on behalf of Chairman Trueblood, Vice Chairman Beach, our entire Board of Trustees, our faculty, our students, and our staff, I'm excited to share with you the state of the university. We have accomplished so many things together. I'm not going to be able to cover all of them, so I'm going to give you highlights, but please know it does not diminish any of the other accomplishments that you may be thinking about that we have achieved together. To set the stage, the last decade has noted a significant shift in the demand for higher education. Public perceptions of higher education have been challenging at best, and enrollment in Ohio's public universities have fallen about 30% over the last decade, and this has been even worse for community colleges in Northeast Ohio, which have experienced about a 43% decline in enrollment. Part of the reason for this is the contracting populations of high school-age children who will be migrating into higher education, but it's also due to the cost of higher education and due to the perceived value of attaining a college degree across the United States. These are challenges that we're all experiencing, and many universities and colleges will not survive into the next decade. In fact, many are already beginning to fold, and those of us that remain are going to have to be able to express how we're creating more value to our students and how we're operating more efficiently and effectively to be able to reduce the total cost of attending higher education for our students. I am pleased to tell you today, though, that NEOMED has been a leader in this area for the last several years. What I'm going to share with you today is that we are in a pretty good spot, that ultimately we've worked hard on increasing value and that we've been able to come together and drive operational efficiencies that allowed us to keep tuition levels lower than the cost of living increases than inflation has been for the past several years. Northeast Ohio Medical University will be entering its golden anniversary this year. We will celebrate 50 years of the establishment of our charter that took place on November 23rd in 1973. I think it's important to look back at our beginnings before we can begin to look at where we've been the last few years, where we stand as a university today, and what lies ahead in our future. In 1973, our university was nothing more than an idea with limited state funding, no land, no assets, and no employees. Originally conceived to be a single medical college constructed under 3 universities, Kent State, University of Akron, and Youngstown State, our first class of 39 medical students began their studies on a rapidly transforming piece of land in Rootstown, Ohio in 1977. Since those early days, we have transformed into a full standalone university with now 4 colleges, expanded onto over 130 acres of land, and experienced a 25-fold increase in student enrollment from the inaugural class of 39 to now well over 1,000 students and over 6,000 NEOMED graduates serving the communities as doctors, pharmacists, research scientists, and public health experts. Our growth has not always been on a positive trajectory during those first 50 years. For those of you who've read the book Silver Reflections by Margaret Newman Dietz, a member of this community for a long time who just passed away at the age of 98, her book Silver Reflections, she notes that in 1983, the late Colin Campbell, then the new NEO-UCOM provost and Dean of the College of Medicine, stated after assuming his new role, and I quote, "You know, this job may not be worth having," unquote. After noting, and I quote again, that financial projections were dismal with projected ongoing annual budget deficits of $1 million per year, and morale was low among our faculty and staff. To put that into perspective, a $1 million per year loss in 1983 equates to an annual deficit of about $3 million today. It turned out the situation hadn't changed greatly by the time I joined the university in late 2019. I saw a similar picture to Dr. Campbell, the way he described it 36 years ago. Only now we were financially constrained with dwindling reserves. Faculty and staff shared that morale was at an all-time low. Employees felt undervalued and had not received raises or had received very little salary increases over the previous 5 years. Many faculty and staff were poorly paid compared to their regional and national peers. And the LCME student survey noted that medical student satisfaction at NEOMED was near the bottom compared to all of the medical schools. The LCME had also just issued us a warning of probation, and we were informed of an unexpected $6 million budgetary shortfall due to our self-insured status for our healthcare benefits. Just as we began to roll up our sleeves to tackle these problems, we were hit with a once-in-a-lifetime global pandemic, accompanied by the news that state funding would be substantially decreased in response to the pandemic-associated economic downturn. I don't know if things could have been much worse than what we experienced in the very early days of 2020. Despite seemingly dire situations, our amazing team of faculty, staff, and students focused on the positive and their love for this university. We focused on putting out the biggest fires first: LCME accreditation, the pandemic, and financial stabilization. We created a new strategic plan to serve as both our North Star, guiding us to a common vision for a bright and sustainable future, and also for a short-term approach to be able to fix some of our difficult financial issues. I want to share with you some of what we have accomplished together since that time, where we currently are as an organization, and how help to outline a roadmap for our future. In January of 2020, as our College of Medicine team focused on LCME reaccreditation issues, a diverse group of university leaders met off-site to discuss the current state of the university and to assess the then strategic plan the university was using to guide its way forward. The group of more than 15 leaders felt strongly that the mission and the vision were not reflective of who we are as a university, and it was concluded that we needed an entirely new strategic plan to launch our way forward into the future. With the support of the NEOMED Board of Trustees, we engaged tomorrow's people to assist us with constructing a meaningful new strategic plan through which we could chart a new course toward an impactful and sustainable future. Our entire team and our community partners were included in the process to help ensure that we had an inclusive product that would receive broad support. 7 surveys were sent to 683 faculty, staff, students, and community partners, in addition to our student body. In total, we received 1,729 responses for nearly 100 questions, resulting in 14,000 data points that were used to create the new plan. Over the course of the next 6 months, we worked hard in working groups, putting in hundreds of hours to construct our new strategic plan with a mission, vision, and set of core values that are reflective of who we are. The Board of Trustees unanimously endorsed our new plan in September of 2020, and we were on our way. Our mission statement in that strategic plan is that Northeast Ohio Medical University harnesses diversity, innovation, and collaboration to create transformative leaders and improve health through education, discovery, and service. For those of you who know Simon Sinek's work, the key for us is to understand the why. And to get to the why, you have to understand the what and the how. So what is it we do from that statement? We provide education, discovery, and service. How we do it well is by leveraging diversity, innovation, and collaboration. But the why is to create transformative leaders and to improve health. Change was certainly needed, but change can be very difficult. Even those who desire change often develop a misperceived sense of nostalgia to how things used to be, and they really worry about how will this new change affect them individually. To lead change well, we needed a dedicated team tasked with rallying the university around our new plan, developing goals and objectives to operationalize that plan, and to create and track performance metrics to show that we were actually doing what we intended to do. This led to the creation of our Office of Strategy in 2020 and the hiring of our first Vice President for Strategy and Transformation, Lacey Madison. Everything that I'm about to share has been a direct effect of our strategic plan, and I want to thank Lacey and her team for helping to corral us around this work to get to the point we are now. As a university, people are our most important asset. We don't make material products. We educate and graduate future leaders. We perform life science and healthcare research, and we perform service to meet the needs of our local community. All of our efforts are accomplished through the actions of the people at this university. From our ground operations team to our police officers, curriculum coordinators, educators and administrators, administrative assistants, to our IT team, our finance team, Marcom, legal, human resources, and everybody in between, we all play an equally critical role in graduating transformational leaders from this university. We began our new course by focusing on our employees. We implemented changes to show you that you're valued, to improve job satisfaction and work-life balance, and to provide you the tools to grow your skills and empower you to make impactful change. This resulted in programs aimed at employee development, improved compensation, work hours flexibility, improved benefits, improved staffing, and shared governance. For our staff, we worked with Milliman Consulting, studied our workforce structure and compensation ranges. Many employees were reclassified and received in-grade adjustments, ultimately resulting in better compensation. Staff development opportunities were increased through human resources, through the strategy office, and through the strategic initiative funds. We became a Lean Six Sigma organization and trained over half of our workforce at the yellow belt or the green belt level. Our successful and highly praised Lean Six Sigma programs were expanded into a broader set of training programs that has recently emerged as our Employee Empowered Excellence Program, a program that was established to help employees improve their professional skill sets, allowing them to grow towards their future career aspirations. We increased employee recognition and award programs to recognize the outstanding work and service of the people across this organization. Since 2020, we have provided continuous annual compensation increases with the addition of performance increases and a new incentive bonus program. We revamped our annual performance review program to improve its value to you and added supervisor mandated training to help reduce bias and to also reduce variability in the way our employees were being analyzed. We created flexible work hour and flexible work location programs, part of that driven by the pandemic, but ultimately part of this university and the way we move forward. This has allowed employees to work up to 40% of their time from distant locations. Our implemented variable work hours program was established to accommodate the personal needs of employees, so they weren't under the restriction of strict hour requirements, but they could have variable opportunities to attend to their other needs during the week. We focused on empowering our faculty. We created a more powerful university faculty council, brought them in as partners who would help us with shared governance, gave them a voice at the table at the executive management team where unfiltered dialogue took place in both directions. Transparency and trust were critical to everything we were going to do going forward. We developed a new faculty empowerment compensation plan that wasn't forced, was built as an opt-in to help faculty who chose to use it. Ultimately, in its first year, it was adopted by a large number of faculty, and the average compensation of those faculty members went up by 12%. This allowed us to achieve a cost of living index adjusted AAMC 50th percentile average for our faculty members in the College of Medicine, while the College of Pharmacy had already achieved similar results. Faculty that did not opt in continued to receive annual pay raises, just as our staff did. We created an Office of Faculty Enrichment and invested in new faculty development programs. We also created a new President's Level Faculty Awards program. For everyone, we restructured our healthcare benefits, reducing employee contribution amounts while providing the same high quality of care and an extensive national provider network. We also negotiated a new dental insurance plan for this year that will provide better coverage and reduce the benefit costs to you. We also opened up NEOMED Healthcare on our campus, which offers you the ability to seek care in primary care, travel medicine, and for those that need it, substance abuse treatment with no copay if you have our internal SUMA healthcare insurance plan. We created a new strategic initiative fund known as the SIF. Administered through the Office of Strategy, the SIF has empowered our faculty, our students, and our staff to request funding for new programs that they conceived and that they envisioned to be able to help the university achieve our way forward. To date, we have set aside $1.5 million to fund those internal projects that you have brought to us. And we have already awarded $1,171,000 to 32 projects ranging from $3,000 to $100,000 in scope. SIF funding projects support all areas of our mission, from education and research to leadership development, improved operational efficiencies, and diversity initiatives. I want to thank the NEOMED leaders who've submitted those SIF requests and have been successful in achieving funding, and we have more dollars to give out, and we're looking forward to receiving more requests over the next few months. We recognize the longstanding concern regarding the diversity of our campus, a concern echoed by our accreditation bodies. In response, we created new advisory bodies, initiatives, programs, and processes that have greatly impacted the diversity of our student body, and we had achieved a campus student diversity reflective of the state of Ohio's diversity. We have created programs that are setting benchmarks to ensure that others can emulate our work. This is especially true for our Master's in Fundamentals of Medicine program. Today, our campus student diversity rose from 6 to 8% 3 years ago to over 17% today. and 26% of our combined M1 and M2 class is composed of underrepresented minority students. And overall, our admissions acceptance criteria of those who've matriculated have gone up. GPAs on average are up, and MCAT scores on average are up. We still have much work to do, especially with regard to employee diversity, as was clearly pointed out to us by the Higher Learning Commission on their last visit. Our university finances are a critical driver for sustainable future and the resources that we need to execute our mission. They are also a key performance indicator that is looked at by the state of Ohio, our accreditors, our board of trustees, and our accreditation bodies and bond rating agencies. In February 2020, we hired Mary Taylor to serve as our Vice President of Operations and Finance. Mary and her team have helped the university right the ship through the implementation of new financial management processes focused on strengthening our financial position. We have better aligned use of resources to support our core mission, implementing zero-based budgeting, a mission-driven, transparent, and accountable budgeting model. And we have identified and eliminated wasteful spending on low-impact and non-mission aligned programs. I want to highlight a few of these that have resulted in over $4 million a year in savings that have been returned to the university to support our core mission. Mary's team led the reissuance of bonds, multiple bonds at the university at lower interest rates. This is akin to you refinancing your home to save money, so those dollars aren't being spent on interest given to the banks, but instead saved here at the university. We sold the Rootstown Pharmacy. It was losing about $325,000 per year, but we retained the assets by being able to utilize it in the way it was intended for the benefit of our students and the benefits of our community, and turned it over to the hands of Summa Healthcare, which was able to run it in a much more operationally efficient manner. We changed from self-insured to fully insured, saving us a minimum of $1.6 million per year. And in our outlier years, like 2019 to 2020, eliminated that risk of a $6 million shortfall because we have members of our community who unfortunately have significant diseases that are costly. We transitioned our partnership in urban healthcare from one run in Cleveland to one run here on the NEOMED campus, saving over $1.2 million per year. We optimize landlord-tenant relationships in the new center and in the MOB, and we renegotiated contracts and applied a new budget process that ultimately resulted in substantial savings. This has allowed us to keep tuition increases well below inflation rates. We've been able to substantially increase annual university operating budgets for all of you over the past 2 years. And we've been able to increase staffing hires where we had staffing shortfalls, develop new programs, and to bring salaries in line with the competitive market rates. We have increased our focus on the university campus, applying those same resources to improve our physical infrastructure, and are investing in new diversity initiatives and diversity support programs. External validation of how good we've been at righting the ship financially came in September when Moody's, our bond rating agency, gave us an upgrade, showing their confidence that we were going in the right direction. And you should note that this was not happening in the past several years. And in fact, the economic outlook by rating agencies has been negative for higher education. This showed them that we are doing something special here. Our students are the reason NEOMED exists. The LCME student survey conducted in 2019 made it clear we must do a better job serving their needs. As a result, our strategic plan is a focus on the exceptional student experience. I want to thank everyone who's been involved in the Exceptional Student Experience Initiative, but especially Dr. Sandra McPherson and Dr. Sebastian Diaz, who led a Lean Six Sigma Greenbelt project on the topic and are leading the charge to implement change. The findings of their extensive voice of the customer assessment have given us a structure through which to implement better programming for our students and have bigger impact. We now know that the most important elements to our students are transparency and communication, a sense of belonging, a responsive curriculum, personal and academic support, and an exceptional customer experience. In addition to creating a dedicated team focused on all of those areas, we are revamping our student educational space, beginning with the South Corridor. We have provided student healthcare through the new NEOMED clinic, have created a highly touted writing center through strategic initiative funding, and built a new global health program under Dr. Bernard Fosel that is already providing at high demand and invaluable educational opportunities. We've re-engineered our clinical experiential education support at our partner healthcare institutions through increased financial support, additional personnel, and better coordination. And this past budget season, we funded new student support staffing hires to improve customer service. Each of our colleges has been focused on improving performance, striving for a better understanding of the use of resources, and evaluating opportunities for growth. The College of Medicine has experienced a great deal of change over the past 3 years and has made significant strides forward, allowing us to overcome LCME concerns and earn full LCME accreditation. This included sweeping changes to the curriculum and our approaches to education. And while we note those changes still need to be fine-tuned for the benefit of our students and for our faculty and staff, change is not easy, and we are on a trajectory to success. We have experienced a leadership change with the retirement of Dr. Young, and a big thank you for Dr. Eugene Mawad for taking the reins as the interim dean while we undergo a national College of Medicine dean search that is in its final stages. We've been able to create powerful relationships and strengthen existing relationships with external partners to expand training opportunities and increase educational quality. For the first time in our 50-year history, we have been ranked by U.S. News and World Report for our College of Medicine, going from unranked status of over 190 medical schools in the country to now being ranked equally with well-known partners such as University of Toledo, Ohio University, Wright State University, Florida State University, and Oklahoma State University, amongst others. Our focus on our diversity has taken us to being ranked as number 85 in the country with over 190 medical schools. That is a steep trajectory in our change, and we're expecting that to continue to grow as our newest submission to U.S. News and World Report was just released. The College of Medicine is on a growth trajectory with expansion this year of our M1 class from 162 to 174 students, and a plan to grow to 200 students per year in the next 3 years. Our College of Medicine students are competing head-to-head with the best in the nation, with an average 99% residency match rate since 2019. With the support of the College of Graduate Studies, we have launched several transformational leadership programs through combined master's and MD programs, providing future graduates with the skills needed to lead healthcare change and healthcare improvements. The College of Pharmacy continues to serve our local communities through education, research, and service. During a substantial national reduction and student enrollment in colleges of pharmacy, the quality of our pharmacy programs has continued to attract high caliber applicants, mostly from Ohio, who choose to stay and serve the communities of Ohio after graduation. Their talented faculty and student-focused educational approach has led to outstanding student reviews of the college with a greater than 90% satisfaction rate. We continue to have over 55% of our graduates from the College of Pharmacy seek advanced postgraduate residency training opportunities with a much higher match rate than the national average. Dr. Kasmer has created and supported personally new scholarships to support future pharmacists, and the college was recognized for their role in directly providing thousands of COVID vaccinations to our community during the darkest periods of the pandemic. 7 months ago, Dr. Julie Altman was selected to serve as the interim dean of the College of Graduate Studies after the retirement of Dr. Stephen Schmidt. With 6 new degree programs and certificates, the college has more than doubled its enrollment since 2019 and are projecting 47 degree and certificate graduates at this commencement, by far the highest that have ever come out of the college. The college underwent successful initial accreditation of the new Master of Medical Sciences and Anesthesia program in 2020 and matriculated its inaugural class 1 year ago in January of 2022. This month, our second class of students started their first year, and we are expecting to graduate our very first certified anesthesia assistant class in 1 year. Now, in addition to a Master's of Public Health, a Master of Medical Ethics, and the joint NEOMED Kent Master or Doctorate in Biomedical Sciences, the College of Graduate Studies offers a Master of Medical Sciences and Anesthesia and a Master of Leadership and Health System Sciences. We transformed the IPM program into a Master and/or Doctorate of Basic and Translational Biomedicine and created a new Master of Innovation track within the Basic and Translational Biomedicine program. We created a certificate in global health innovation and a certificate in health research. And we recently received approval to enroll in an inaugural class into a Master of Global Health and Innovation program. And we transformed our Master of Modern Anatomical Sciences into a medical school post-baccalaureate program, rebranded to the Master of Fundamentals of Medicine, a key driver of our diversity initiatives. And in September of 2022, the NEOMED Board of Trustees authorized the creation of our first new college in over a decade, the Batante College of Dentistry. The College of Dentistry was created to address Ohio's biggest public health issue, the availability and access to oral health care for our communities. In November, we announced the hiring of our inaugural dean, Dr. Frank Beck, and our associate dean for academics and education, Dr. Kristen Victoroff. They've been working diligently with the leadership teams from across this university at breakneck speed towards our initial accreditation through CODA. And we plan to bring in our very first class of 50 dental students no later than August of 2025. The outpouring of support for our new dental college has been overwhelming. We have already raised more than $14 million for the new college, including $10 million from the Batante Foundation to name the college, $1 million from the state legislature, championed by Senator Serino and Representative Pavliga, and most recently, $2 million from the federal omnibus budget, championed by Senator Sherrod Brown. With some of the provided funding, we will soon see the creation of a dental simulation facility and a 32-bay public dental clinic near the South Corridor in the old Wasson Center. Research and scholarship are an important part of the NEOMED mission. After the retirement of Dr. Schmidt, we conducted a national search to find a new vice president for research to lead and to grow our research enterprise. After a very competitive search, our own Dr. Rebecca German was named by the search committee as the best choice to lead us forward. Dr. German has already hit the ground running, working with research faculty and clinical partners to create an enhanced strategy for our research enterprise. She has partnered with Dr. Eaton from Summa Health, Dr. Michael Forbes from Akron Children's Hospital, and Dr. Grace McComsey at University Hospitals to create new collaborative research partnership models. And Dr. Chris Boffman has taken the lead in having NEOMED become a partner in the Cleveland Clinical and Translational Science Collaborative. As a full partner, our faculty now have access to numerous new research resources and seed startup funding grants for the research that you're conducting. This is a massive enterprise that has had millions of dollars in federal funding, in fact, tens of millions of dollars in federal funding, and NEOMED is listed as a new partner on the renewal grant that we are waiting to hear from the NIH regarding support. It is expected that we will continue to thrive as an NIH CTSC entity. In addition, Dr. German led the creation of the university's first University Research Council, an internal team of research leaders convened to serve an advisory role to the Vice President of Research regarding activities and resources around our research enterprise, giving our faculty a voice in shaping the future of our research targets. We are also expanding our RFAs to include health services research and educational research endeavors. The strategic initiative funds have been used to create new seed grant opportunities, purchase critical research equipment, and fund a campaign to increase awareness of the great research that comes out of this institution. Strategic Initiative Fund dollars, the Vice President for Research, and a big thank you to Dr. Safadi, have supported an amazing team of students led by Trinity Sampson, one of our MD PhD students, to create and publish the Journal of Medical Sciences at NEOMED, a peer-reviewed scientific journal providing editorial and peer reviewer experiences to our students while offering an internal publishing outlet for research. We also completed the expansion of the fourth floor of RGE and moved our research scientists into that new space. New student PhD positions were funded in our last zero-based budgeting process, and we hope to fund additional PhD students in the upcoming year so that we can grow our PhD graduates to help work closely with the great researchers that are at this university. Our student research summer program is thriving and growing and has received additional funding in the last budget request. There is much more to come and many new programs and resources on the horizon. Our faculty's $14 million in research grants, 42 active NIH awards, 27 R01s have placed our current Blue Ridge Institute rankings in the top 12% of all ranked research institutions with NIH funding, and we are ranked number 109 and of over 190 medical schools, and at the top of our community-based peer group medical schools. Our campus operations team has been absolutely outstanding in their efforts to provide a safe, clean, and professionally kept campus. Not only have they maintained our infrastructure, but they have also helped us add and improve physical resources. A few examples from the past 3 years include opening of the medical office building, a new home to the Wasson Center, to NEOMED Healthcare, to Neovations LLC, the Biomed Academy, and Summa Healthcare. RGE4 was completed for occupancy. You may have noted that all of our parking lots have been repaved. The new soccer field has been completed and is in use until we hit winter, of course. And the South Corridor underwent a complete makeover. We are now embarking on creating the new Medic Innovation Center and readying for improvements in the anatomy lab and creation of a 32-bay dental clinic and 50-plus station dental simulation facility to start. After a wake-up call regarding accreditation in 2019 as a result of our LCME accreditation visit, we made significant changes to programs and our support infrastructure. The LCME had noted concerns with diversity, curriculum quality, student healthcare availability, and responsiveness to student input, amongst other topics. Our university rallied together to improve every aspect of our educational infrastructure, and as a result, received full reaccreditation from our LCME site visit just 7 months later. We have continued to strengthen and build our educational program quality, infrastructure, and resources. Validation of the impact of our continued efforts came in late November of 2022, when the Higher Learning Commission awarded us full reaccreditation for 10 years. I want to thank everyone who was involved in the HLC process. This took over 70 people working for 16 months to pull this off. And I especially want to thank those who led the charge: Dr. Rick Kasmer, our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Ms. Deb Loyette, and of course, Dr. Jeff Wenstrup. Each of you played a critical role in leading our teams, and my outbrief by the chairman of our site visit team was a short 10 minutes to say, good job, great university, and you have very little to work on. This is outstanding to have come this far in 3 short years, showing how great we are as a team. We've also, thank you. We have also focused on strengthening our clinical partnerships through improved communication channels, administrative and faculty development services, and improved financial support. All to do one thing: improve the quality of education and educational experiences of our students. We're building new translational research consortiums and reinvigorating existing collaborations. Our clinical partnerships have been revitalized and are growing. Going back to the book, Silver Reflections, if you've not had an opportunity to read it, you will note that our first presidents, Dr. Olson, Dr. Liebelt, and Dr. Campbell, spent 80 to 90% of their time traveling the region, creating partnerships, as they were the most critical element of who we would become. I think prior to the last few years, we felt victim to thinking that those relationships were always going to be there, and they went unattended, much to our own fault. So we've really taken the reins on reinvigorating those, and I want to thank all of our clinical partners. Today, Dr. Michael Forbes, Chief Academic Officer for Akron Children's Hospital, is with us in the room. He has been an incredible new partner, and I think most of you have seen his face here at the university on multiple committees, helping us create our new way forward and helping us to select new leadership. Thank you, Dr. Forbes. We've got new clinical opportunities and new clinical rotations for our students. In August, we should be announcing the availability of clinical rotations at the Cleveland Clinic's Fairview Hospital for medical students, and we have a powerful full-scale partnership with university hospitals that has already greatly expanded research opportunities and student rotations in the third and fourth years of medical school. That partnership is growing and thriving, as is our partnership with Akron Children's Hospital, Summa Healthcare, Altman, and Mercy Bon Secours, and all of the clinical partners that have helped make us the great institution that we are. Our Rootstown campus is now home to patient healthcare services, including Summa Healthcare's urgent care facility and 9 specialty care clinics, Dr. Yun's Dental Clinic, and the new NEOMED healthcare offering integrated primary care, travel medicine, and substance abuse treatment. I want to thank Dr. John Boltry and Maria Scheimer and the entire clinic team for all of their efforts in helping to get this new clinic off the ground. Doing so has allowed us to create a strong new partnership with the Ohio State University through their physician group. They do our back end for the clinic, allowing us to focus on the important elements of clinical care. They do our billing, our coding, our collections, our credentialing with healthcare insurers, and they have provided us the Epic healthcare system that lets us use the state-of-the-art electronic health record to care for our patients and to be able to integrate their records across the state of Ohio with the majority of other institutions that are using that same system. Our new clinic allows us to provide care to all of our students and to our employees and our community. And as I noted, for those of you who have Summa Healthcare, you may use our clinic at no copay, no cost to you. We want
Airbnb
care, and we want you to be able to get the care that you need close to home and close to your work location. I also want to recognize our NEOMED advancement team and our Vice President for Government Affairs. We've undergone restructuring in the advancement team to better partner the university mission with aligned philanthropic opportunities. This year, we appointed Doreen Riley as the Vice President of Advancement and the President of the NEOMED Foundation. In 2021, we also enticed Mr. Lindsay Loftus to rejoin the university. Our efforts have already had big impact. Fiscal year 2022 and already in fiscal 23, we've had our biggest philanthropic years in our 50-year history. Prior to 2020, the average year resulted in about $2.5 million in philanthropic donations. In 22, we raised over $5 million. And in the first 6 months of this year, we have already surpassed $12 million. In the past 12 months alone, when you combine large philanthropic gifts with the work that John Stiliana and his team have done with government support, we have already exceeded $25 million in new investment to this university from January to January. This includes $1.8 million for global health by the Patel Foundations and the Crocker Foundation, $1.8 million to grow our new certified mental health assistant program from Summit County. A big thank you to Executive Shapiro. $10 million for the dental college by the Batante Foundation, as noted, $1 million for the dental college from the state of Ohio and $2 million from the federal government. $5 million this year in investment from university hospitals to support the growth of joint programs together. And I'm pleased to say the governor of Ohio has just announced that NEOMED has received $4 million in investment to create a new state substance use deflection center of excellence, entrusting NEOMED with the state's most important task, dealing with opioid addiction and the death of our citizens. The governor has made this one of his top 3 initiatives and has entrusted our team in the Department of Psychiatry under Dr. Welton and Ruth Samara to move this forward. Adherence to our strategic plan has put us on a course for a bright and sustainable future. Team, the state of this university is stronger than it has ever been. Enrollment is growing and our partnerships are thriving. And we have many ideas on how we will move into the future. Those ideas all involve smart approaches to sustainable growth and impact. This includes making some significant changes. I want to thank Dr. Kasmer, who's really worn 2.5 hats at this university as Dean of the College of Pharmacy and as our Vice President for Academic Affairs. Despite concerns that it was a conflict of interest for one dean to be in control of the VPAA resources that the other colleges used, he did this as a true professional, and it was his efforts with his team that have gotten us through HLC. Now, Dr. Kasmer is going to be focused on the College of Pharmacy, and as we are a growing university, we will be bringing in a provost who will lead our academic programming at this university so that we can continue to have a harmonized growth of our colleges working together for the betterment of all that we can attain in the future. We're going to continue to grow our academic programming for high-value, high-reward programs and repurposing space through the Master Space Planning Committee to optimize the way we are structured at the university and where we are located. We're looking to create new student services, faculty resources, and facilities for our staff and all to enjoy. But we can't do this standing in the president's office and making assumptions about what you think we need and what it is you know we have to continue to grow. We're working on growing internal leaders, and we'll be starting a new leadership training academy for those who are looking to grow within this university in both our faculty and our staff ranks. And we plan to grow our NEOMED healthcare programs, offering more clinical treatment based on the needs of our community, with a plan to grow a faculty practice plan, just as every other medical school in the state of Ohio has. And we will be enhancing our student wellness and counseling services and growing our research capabilities. But we need your help. Over the next several weeks, you're going to receive a series of surveys, just as we did when we created our strategic plan. These are really not to be taken lightly. I ask that you please participate. It's an opportunity for us to hear from you. This is really a form of shared governance. I want to hear what you think about NEOMED, what you think about our brand, and whether our brand is reflective of who we want to be in the future. I want your input on what our future should look like. Will we stay in graduate education or expand? Will we expand our current offerings into other areas outside of where we are currently playing? And should we consider going outside of education in the health sciences? These are big questions. I don't have an idea of what we should do yet, mostly because it's important that all of us be on board. This is our opportunity to do what Dr. Olson and his team did 50 years ago. When they shaped who we are today, we can come together to shape who this university will be in 100 years. I need to know what facilities we need, what expansion we should consider. Even simple questions such as, what should we do with food offerings on this campus? Should we increase variety, increase hours, and how important is that to you, as well as additional exercise and wellness resources on the campus? So I ask that you please participate. I know it's easy to get fatigue on surveys. The first one will be coming out soon. We're working hard to keep these all under 10 questions that you can answer within a minute so that you can move on with your day. But we are going to use this information to shape the future and to work with our Board of Trustees. Our Board of Trustees has tasked me with looking at our brand. Our student Board of Trustee members have brought this to the attention of the board that it's something we need a big focus on. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention today. I thank you for everything you do at the university, and I thank you for being a part of our future by participating, and I look forward to the next decade together here at the university. Thank you, and please join me for refreshments. Refreshments will be served out front.